I was going to start this video by saying that the massacre at PyCon was part of the dark days during the First Cylon War. But there really wasn't a time for the Colonials that weren't dark. Death, destruction, loss. That's all the Colonials ever really knew. Let's just get into it. The Colonials had been caught completely by surprise. They relied on technology for everything. They used it to make their food, to plan jumps for their FTL drives, to drive their vehicles, and ultimately to serve them via the creation of the Cylon. And then, the Cylons had rebelled against them. It must have been terrifying as the servant you had always had, who had done your lawn, who had protected you, turned whatever weapon it could find on you and killed you in front of your family, in front of your children, in front of your wife, in front of your husband, and ultimately killed them too. And from there it only got worse. The Colonials were scrambling to defend themselves against the attacks. The creation of Battlestars had given them a leg up, true, but they weren't completed yet. Colonial Fleet was building Battlestars in record time, but even pushing as hard as they could, they had only produced 5. And the Articles of Colonization had promised a Battlestar to every colony, and that was before they even started giving Colonial Fleet its own Battlestars. And worst yet, after building 5, one that had already been built, Battlestar Galactica, the crowning achievement of Caprica, was now MIA, and that was only 2 weeks after its commissioning. And the hits just kept on coming. While the Battlestar Athena was in its final stages of being completed, the Colonial Fleet headquarters, located on PyCon, was attacked. Of course, attacked was the word used by the Colonials. Another word for it would be massacred. Colonial forces were caught completely off guard. Admiral McKinley put up a valiant defense, but ultimately the fleet of PyCon was utterly destroyed. The Cylons then turned their weapons on the Colonial Fleet headquarters, leaving no survivors. PyCon now had a Cylon invasion fleet in orbit of it, and ironically, this would not be the first or last time that would occur. The wreckage of the PyCon defense fleet was still adrift in its atmosphere as raiders began to raid the colony. PyCon's Battlestar, the Battlestar that hadn't arrived in time, Athena, was still not capable of using its FTL drive, so the decision had been made. The Daedalus, a mobile shipyard, now the heart of the Colonial Fleet, would jump into PyCon carrying Athena. The forces would fight off the Cylons and deliver the Battlestar. When Daedalus arrived, Battlestar in tow, they were able to determine one of the reasons the Cylons had defeated the initial PyCon defenses. The Cylons had found a way to hack the colonial systems. During the battle, a colonial officer by the name of Helena Agathon was in an argument with the ship designer Sinan Quaid over their ships being compromised.
I've asked Sinan if there is any way we can stop those Cylon tech ships from hacking our systems, but he's being stubborn.
We've already minimized onboard networking. Your firewall should keep them out for a while. Otherwise, take the subsystem offline for repairs if they cause too much damage.
In response to colonial ships being overrun by Cylon technology, he ensured that the firewalls that he created would hold back for a time, but ultimately made no attempt to better the technology. An odd thing that would be noted for later. Lucinda Kane, having become admiral of the entirety of the Colonial Fleet due to the death of so many of the other admirals, ordered that the Cylon units be destroyed before they could compromise the colonial systems.
Or you can rely on the tried and tested method of shooting the Cylons down before they get the chance.
While the Colonial Fleet was able to destroy the Cylons before being hacked at PyCon, this would present an ever-present problem through the early parts of the First Cylon War. The Colonials had utilized network computers for everything they did: combat, FTL drives, and more. The reliance on computers would cause a lot of casualties initially. With PyCon now defended, for the moment at least, Battlestar Athena was released to the Defense Ministry of PyCon itself. This would be needed. It was likely more Cylons would arrive when the Colonial Fleet jumped away. They always did. No colony was ever safe. However, as the Colonial Fleet prepared to utilize the computer system of Idris to move back into the relative safety of other colonies, Helena Agathon realized something. The Idris system had been compromised, and now, even attempting an FTL jump would be hazardous. Alright guys, stay tuned. Next time we'll take a look at the Cylons' attempt at an ambush to destroy the key installation to winning the war, the Daedalus shipyards. Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, what kind of lore you want to see, how you like what this is going. Do you own Battlestar Galactica Deadlock? Do you like the game? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you on the next Lore Reloaded.